I'm your host, Mary Essems. I'm a manager and founder of Poppins Productions, LLC, where we help entertainers and artists navigate the industry and reach their audience. And here's my guest host, Keen
Hey,
Yvonne.
hey, hey! Glad to be
Hey,
here. Glad to be here. Hey, hey!
come on
Back
now.
again.
Come on now, season two, new. It's
That's
all for
it. You can't sit back and it takes 6 months to prosecute the officers that killed George Floyd. But in this case, it's like it took less than a month
it took a few
to
days
prosecute
actually.
them. Exactly.
It wasn't even
Exactly.
that long.
Yeah, it wasn't long at all. So that should be the standard across the board, no matter if it's a black officer or a white officer.
Because they
Hmm.
feel comfortable with their lives. They feel
Hmm.
like they're invincible. They're nobody's going to touch them, and they know that, especially with the
Yeah.
police.
Yeah.
They believe that they're just as equally have the protection of their white counterparts. But what
Hmm.
also is a rude awakening is that they don't. So they just recently decided to, literally decided to legalize it, and it's kind of crazy because a lot of black guys get locked up for selling the stuff. Like if you got to think
Yeah,
about it,
buddy.
a lot of black men get pulled over for this stuff. They get locked
They
up
get pulled
for it.
over.
Their lives
Felonies.
are felonies,
Yeah,
misdemeanors,
absolutely.
and they cycle into the jail system. But with the funny
Yeah,
and in the
absolutely.
dispensaries, I see the white population just going in there in droves. But they've been doing it long before we have. They just don't
Hmm.
get caught.
Hmm. Correct.
I wish that we lived in a society that encouraged people to just be who they are. I think I would have avoided a lot of what I didn't know was self-hatred. A lot of us, we don't know that we are taught to hate ourselves, but any part of you that you aren't able to openly express and embrace and just accept for what it is, you learn to hate it, not like it. You aren't connected with it. As far as the humor comes in, humor was absolutely like a saving grace. I think for Black people especially, um, you know, if you look at where some of us have come from, humor has been the only thing that we've had.
See,
That's it.
you
Yeah,
right.
that
You
and
ain't,
music.
you ain't
That
lying.
music and maybe a little
Yep.
Jesus.
Little Jesus.
Um,
Bring it on to Jesus.
Come on, baby Jesus.
Yeah.
Love you.
you know, when they booked me for it, I kind of could tell what they were hoping at. Like, I mean, they wanted me to perform naked, and I was like, well, that costs
Wait.
a lot extra
Oh wow.
to get me
Wow.
to
Did they really
perform naked.
ask you that?
Wow.
How
They
did they
they put
approach you
they
with
put it
that?
out there. They
So are
put
we
it
in
out
Get
there.
Out? Is this the movie Get Out?
It was
Like
almost like a gay get out, almost.
I was like, whoa, this shit sounds so similar. I think
I'm
I'm.
trying to tell you.
Was it
Almost.
that museum event about
Yep,
like the
that
race
museum
and the
event.
white people
Yep.
like doing like writing the stuff down about what they do about racism and stuff? Yeah, I do remember that. That was a weird one. I got hit up at a museum. I guess there was it was a rush for black repentance. So all the white people wanted to show off
Not repentance.
Man, the marketing game was crazy on that.
What?
You best to strap yourself next to a black if you wanted to keep getting these marketing dollars.
Yeah.
Everybody was pulling their blacks out the woodworks, getting them millions. So
Yeah, they were.
yeah,
They were.
that trickled on down to me, and the museum, and they gave me a little
Yeah.
piece because I'm one of the few people. I'm one of the like what 3 or 4 black comics in well 2 in Madison. They was one of those exercises was these yellow ribbons and this like strip of paper, like one of the displays was a long strip of board or whatever, and not even like a board, but like a line. So the ribbons would be on a line so you could pick up the ribbons and read them as you go along.
Mm-hmm.
So what they encourage white people to do, random white people on the streets as they're walking in, and I don't know why they expect the seriousness and with, college downtown Madison, Wisconsin, but they encourage white people to get a marker and write on these blank yellow ribbons what they would do for racism, and to stop racism and to like help like get eradicate this terrible thing, right? So now you got a bunch of white people writing a bunch of stuff on ribbons, and I'm walking through and I'm looking at a few of them, and one of them that I read just said something like staying inside, but like one thing I can do to help is like stay inside or whatever. And I'm like, so you that racist, you can't help your racism so much that you like, well, if y'all gonna be outside, I'm gonna just stay inside.
Stay inside.
Like, who the hell does
thing I
that?
can do to stop this racism. Like, I gotta stay away from y'all. Like,
I'm just gonna stay inside. I'm locking the door.
Why can't we support these black people, these young black people doing their thing out here?
That should be the next topic. Because we need to get to the root of why we can't just support people.
The haterism. Yeah,
Exactly.
we're gonna talk about that. Exactly.